Hello, can you hear me? I hate the delay at the beginning. Can everyone hear me and see me okay? Hello, sir. Hello to you too. Anybody here? I don't know. The delay is frustrating. But apparently we have viewers. I just want to check something quick. Because we are about to hit 60k. So we literally need 6 more subscribers. So anybody out there who is listening and has got access to 6 more accounts, just click subscribe. See if we can hit it on this stream. And what should happen is once, there we go, but it shouldn't say sorted. Yeah, that's registered. It shouldn't say sorted. I don't know why it's saying that. I set it to say something else. I'm just gonna go into it, see if I can see what's going on. Because what it should say, alert box, test subscriber. It should say this. Should say another stalker, not sorted. Hello. Oh, gone. I don't know why it's not saying. Let's go back to this. Where is the stream? The stream is here. Yeah, it should say another stalker. So I'm not sure what's going on because it's working on OBS when someone subscribes. Oh, see, there we go. What did that say? Because I'm not seeing that on my screen. I'm just seeing that live. Hold on. We're going to do this. We're going to do this, peoples. We are literally, we're 3 away. I've got a special box thing here, right? Which, oh, that's it. Just smash it all off, right? Now, I'm using the old dog and bone for this, but what this does is, let me just turn it on. Because this is quite cool, this thing. So I just need to put my phone onto Wi-Fi. Put my phone onto Wi-Fi. A couple of things I want to talk about today, or this evening. But I want to see if we can hit 60,000 on a live stream. Now, hopefully that's going to connect. And I'm going to show you what this box does. Let me just go to connect, because it should connect, but it's not connecting. Why are you not connecting? Manage device. You should automatically connect. Hopefully that'll connect now in a second. Because here we go. Now, look at this. So that's views on one of my videos, right? And what this does is we can skip through it. So that's the time. That's how hot or cold it is outside. That's the radio. That's the timer. That's the timer. Now on this, look, there we go. What I need to do is I need to keep it on that. I need to keep it on that and we'll see if we hit 60. So I'm going to set this to stay on that because it goes through them if I don't. So if I go to here, no, I don't want to install it. You're already installed. What are you on about? Go to manage time, YouTube, and we can go to stop. This is so well organized, as you can see. I'm missing comments. Am I missing comments? Hello, everybody. Here for the good weather from Wales. Oh no, I need you to go back. Don't show schedule. Go click YouTube and then subscriber count. Will it stay there now? I think it should stay there. Do you know what I mean? I think. So what would be really cool if I... Oh, two more! So what we should do is if I hold this up, or that, or should I put it above my head? I'm not going to put it above my head because it's too hard to hold up. Two more. Oh, just lost one. See, I knew if I did this, people would unsubscribe just for the crack from the stream. Just because, you know, it is kind of funny. I admitted it is kind of funny. But there's a couple of things I found today. A picture online, which I want to talk about, and a video online, which I want to talk about. Dan, go. Jason, how we doing? Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Good stuff. Now, we're 3 away. 3 people, and I'm not holding this up for too long because it'll hurt my bloody hand. But how are we all doing today? What are we up to? Or this evening, or today, wherever you are, happen to be. Where are you watching from? That's the first thing I should kind of say. Can I support this with something rather than me holding bloody thing? Can I? Will that work? That will not work. I will find something so then I don't have to hold it. But we are 3 away, people. What can I find? This box, will this box do? Oh, would you look at that? There we go. So, we now 2 away, but we now should see in bed, falling asleep. Simon, what are you in bed for? It's like 13 minutes past 10. Should be up. Should be, you know, you got a good few hours before you have to go to sleep. Serve as a couple of cars. I have learned many things from you in the last 3 years. Other one, and I think I will be able to fix my old Mondeo. Well, Dan, that's awesome. That's what it's all about, is helping people fix things and saving people money. Because at the end of the day, that's why it's up at 5 for... Well, if you're up at 5 for work, Simon, you don't need to go to bed. You'll be going to work in a few hours, so just stay up. Just stay up. So come on, 2 more. Ring your granny, wake her up and say, "Oi, subscribe to Bodget and Leggett. We need 2 more subscribers. So say, please, Granny, subscribe. And then this thing should change. Anyway, so apart from being up at 5 o'clock, what are we all up to? And where are we listening from, by the way? What part of the world are we listening from? I could kind of maybe go this side. There we go. You can see me a bit better. I'm using an extension lead box and a box for my headphones, and it is perfect height for the stream. Oh, one more people. Phil, how we doing? Lancashire, how are we doing? Now it'd be interesting to see, because I'm obviously using my live YouTube subscriber count through YouTube itself, and it'd be interesting to see how quick this updates. Essex, how we doing, Paul from Essex? It'd be interesting to see. Oh, there we go, 60. Now it just literally changed. So thank you everybody for ringing your granny and telling her to subscribe. But why hasn't this changed? This should change. Be interesting to see how long it takes. But there we go. 60. Thank you everybody. But why hasn't this bloody thing changed? I want this to change and I can take it down. I'm having a nightmare day chasing electronic gremlins on a 2007 Q7 on nice. Don't you just love? Oh, we've gone past for 60,001, but this still hasn't changed. Why hasn't this changed? This is supposed to update fast. I am good, thank you. Hope you are well. Yeah, we're all good. Leslie, how you doing? From Wakefield, how we doing, mate? What's up with the Q7, Mike? What is up with the old Q7? Why isn't this changing? And as soon as I take it off, I wonder if it's not because surely I've let it to stay on that, is it? That's timer. That's weather. That's YouTube. No. No. It's not. But it should have changed, because we are past the 60 and it's not bloody changing. Congratulations, Drew. Thank you, mate. Thank you very much. I kind of want this to change just to see it change. It'd be kind of cool to see it change live. And then, you know, and then it will, I can take it away. No rear lights. The LED lights, is it? Is it got LED 2007? Maybe not. LED lights are just normal lights. Come on, change. No, it's maybe going to take a while. I thought it would update a bit quicker than that, because I don't know. Like I said, I'm doing it through YouTube Studio, so you know you get what it is straight away. Where when you go to, I have refreshed the YouTube page and it says 60k. Well, the YouTube page says it. My Dog and Bone says it. Why the fuck isn't this saying it? Come on, change. Normal. I said they're just normal lights. Are they not working on both sides or just one side? It's not working on both sides. That's could be the module more so than the lights. And which lights aren't working? All of them, because, or is it just like one specific light? See, I need to get this out of the way so you can see my beautiful face. It's getting in the way. I've got a problem with one of my Severas, a diesel, coming up with a code P400, something vacuum related. I've changed all the vacuum pipes and solenoid, but still the same. Okay. Have you lost power? Or is the car still running fine? You can refresh the sub count. Yeah, but this should automatically refresh. That's the whole idea of this thing. This thing goes through everything, right? So it goes through videos, it goes through time, it goes through likes. This can even read comments. But it's supposed to refresh itself. I shouldn't have to oh, let's just go back into it. No, I don't want to do new software. Thank you very much. No, I just want you to go back into it. No, still haven't gone back into it. Will you please go into it? No, I don't want to. Hold on. I don't want this to skip a kind of... Oh, time. No. Time. No. Oh, I can't get back into it now. Why can't I go back into it? I don't want to add new advice. I just want to... I can't get into it now. Why is that? I will get back to the comments in a... Lol, needs calibration. It shouldn't do. That's the thing. It shouldn't do. It should do it automatically. One second, people. 1 second. Why isn't it doing it? I thought, oh yeah, I'll do it, you know, as soon as it changes on the old YouTube, this will do it straight away. But no. I'm just gonna do the update. Install the update. Oh no! Why did I do that? Oh, what a dick! I didn't think it would do that. Oh, what a knob. What an absolute knob. Why did I do that? I should have just left it, because now it's going to come back on. It's going to say 60k. We're not going to see it can move. What a dick. The smartphone can't be connected. It is still doing update. Oh, what an idiot. What an idiot. Oh, well, that screws up that. So we're not going to get that. What a tit. What an absolute tit. Is everything else working on the alert? So if I go test subscriber, and then if I go, so that's that, test super chat. Right, so is that coming across? Ah, there we go. See, when someone sends, but that didn't show up. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Switch between it. Yeah, I know all that. But are you saying I have to? Surely I don't have to connect up again. It's not connected to the Wi-Fi. Ah, fuck! See? Fuck it! That's pissed me off now, that has. Look at that. It says it. Oh, I knew I was going to miss it. Why did I update it? Well, I had to update it because I couldn't get back into the fucking thing. Oh! Arse biscuits. That is annoying. Anyway, it says 60k. Can I get back into it now? Oh, yeah. Now you let me back into it. Now we've done the updates. Ah. What? Annoying. How annoying is that? Goes into limp mode. If you replace all the, you haven't got a vacuum leak. Does it sound like you've got like? Does it sound? You know when you take an air filter out of a car. I'm talking to Mike now, by the way. Does it sound? Because you might have a hole. Just because you replace the vacuum lines and the solenoid doesn't mean you haven't got a leak somewhere else, like in the intake manifold. You know, around the turbo actuator. There's a few other places it could leak. If you could get a smoke machine, that would help. Who decided that it was a good idea to run a timing belt in oil? Peugeot 2000. Well, Ford have done that as well. Yeah, the old wet belt. The old wet belt. Oh, I can't believe that now. That's timer. That's time now. Anyway. To be live will be unsubscribed and sub again. Congratulations. Thank you, mate. We saw it turn. Did you? Did it turn on stream? Are you sure? Oh, if that did, that's awesome. But I don't think it did. Did it turn on stream? I think it, as I was updating it, then it came back on at 60. You didn't actually see it flip over. But maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think it did. I hope it did, because that was the idea. Why has it said it's lost connection? How have you lost connection? Oh, you're back on now. Well, we're well over the 60k now. But I just wanted to do it on stream. I saw it change. Oh, awesome. Well, that's okay then. It's not too bad. Project Man, how we doing? It literally just needed 60k. Okay. I didn't see it. I was looking at the phone and I was screaming too much, being annoyed for it doing the update, so I didn't bloody see it. Your reaction was great when watching Go Back. Yeah, fucking thing. A vacuum leak for no light. Yeah, sometimes it's bloody annoying. Quick question. Oh, question, not quick question. Question mark. What would be cause of a Bosch pump on a 2.5 DI Transit 2, suck in air the system. I've done the little lift pump and all the breathers, but tank checks and seals. I was getting... You will... there must be a leak somewhere. I'm trying to think what would be the easiest way. What would be... What would be the easiest way to do that? I mean, there's easy ways with smoke machines and stuff, but I'm trying to think what would be an easy way if you don't have access to that. It's going to be a clip somewhere. It's going to be something, because I have seen cars to actually, it doesn't happen a lot, but where it physically doesn't leak. It physically doesn't leak, but it sucks in air, if that makes sense. The leak has to be quite bad for it to spurt out, where I've seen it just to suck in air but not leak. I'm trying to think of an easier way without smoke machines to test it. You can, if you've got a compressor, you can do it with a compressor. Lightly disconnect it from the pump and very lightly squirt some air into it and go around each connection with a piece of tissue, right? You get a piece of tissue, like toilet paper, really, really thin, and you go around to all the connections on the car and you blow a bit of air in, and the slightest thing will lift up the tissue paper, and then you can tell you've got a leak there. That would be one of the easiest ways to do it without that would be one of the easiest ways to do it. Yeah, it just flipped over. Oh, awesome. So I'm going to watch back the stream and actually see it. Now I'm thinking it's the pump, but they're not start the pump. Where is it? Yeah, it came up 59 again, then flicked to 60. Nice to be one of the 60k club. Subscribers means nothing really, to be honest with you. It's just, it's a thing you more you can kind of show off to your mates if your mates have got a YouTube channel or whatever. Oh, I've got 100,000, I've got 1 million, or whatever it is. It doesn't affect you, because people think you make money from subscribers where you actually don't on YouTube. It's just, it's nice to have, but I've seen channels with, you know, really high numbers and get hardly any views, and then you see channels with low subscribers and get huge views. So it really does depend. It really does depend, but yeah, nice round numbers is always nice. But you don't get anything from YouTube until you hit 100k, then you can get a little plaque. But they're not handing out, even for 50 million now, they're not handing out plaques. They're not handing out plaques for 100 million. Which is kind of crazy. But anyway, that's just YouTube for you. So yeah. But I'm glad it turned over on stream. Even though I didn't, what I'm going to do is, no, I'll leave it at the 60k for the minute, because that's what the video is about. I'll just kind of stay here so you kind of see me. Or actually, could I just, if I go this way, could I just, no, that'd be in the way then. So if I just go like that, there we go. A little bit better. So what have you done so far for the lights? What have you checked? And which lights are not working? Is it all of them at the back, or is it both sides? Is it just one? Is it just the like the indicator or the parking light? What actually is isn't working on it? Bloody annoying that update. Always, whenever I plan to do anything. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to show. I found this picture today, and it's a real picture from. I can't get a decent picture. It's very blurry. But I wanted to show you a picture of a building in America that they are changing it now. I don't know when it was built. I only saw it today, so this could be like an old picture and they've fixed it by now. But there is a picture in America where someone has designed a building and they did not realize what they were designing. And then someone then did a bird's eye view and said, lads, do you know what you've just done there? This is a real building. I'm going to show you it now. I'll show you this picture first, which is a bit bad, but it's all I can do at the minute. So this is a real building in America. Okay. So look at that. Someone designed that, thought it was a good idea, didn't realize what they were actually designing, and then was like, oh, yeah. So apparently what they're doing is they're spending $600,000 to try and disguise it. You've got to wonder, right? When people build these things, you know, people that, you know, design it, they, it goes through all the planning processes. It does everything. And yet, how can you miss that? Like, that is a big thing to miss. You know, it's not just like, oh, there should be a window there, or we didn't put a door there. You know, like stupid little things that you could easily forget. But that is not a thing you should easily miss. Congratulations on reaching that milestone. Thanks a lot, mate. It was a crush harness from a previous accident. The bulb on the bumper caused all the rear lights not to work. Ah, okay. So I'd say what's mostly happened there then is it's all the if the wires got cut, all the moisture wicked up the line, wicked up the wires, and you know, has caused it to maybe corrode inside. Which is bloody annoying. Yeah, I've seen that a good few times. And it's called, what's the official name for it? Why have I forgot it? What is it called when water travels uphill? Capillary action. Capillary action. Central lock-in on a 2009 VW Caddy not working. Any ideas? Can't open rear or sliding doors. That could be anything. I mean, it could be as simple as a fuse. It could be dodgy wiring. It could be the module could be bad. Have you got any error codes? Can you actually can you go into the module and can you physically read the module? Because that will tell you a good things first. If you physically can't get into the module, if the module says it's not there, it's a good chance it's the module. But if you can get into the module, then you know it's maybe a dodgy lock or something. Because then you can actually, once you get into live data, you can see which doors, you know, front left door, front right door, rear door, whatever. You can actually see which doors are open and closed. Don't Severas suffer with brittle wiring, especially in the place near the door? Well, every car suffers with that. And that could even be another thing with the Volkswagen. It could be, I've done a video on a central locking not working on a Golf. And if you see that video, you'll see that where the door opens, all the cars go there. But I always try and communicate with the module first. After you've communicated with the module, then try and go from there, basically. But Severas also suffer with dodgy wiring near the fan, and the car tends to go on fire. I've actually got a video on my phone of a Severa on fire on a motorway. Everyone got out, the family got out, but the car was on fire. So yeah. Yes, capillary reaction. I've seen that a few times because water can technically travel uphill. Defies gravity. Newton and Einstein was wrong. Yeah, capillary reaction. And once that happens, if a wire's exposed for too long out in the elements, it's amazing how far the crap feeds up that wire. And you just have to keep cutting back until you get good wire. You can, I've seen people, put them in like vinegar solutions and stuff and allow it to wick back up, but that just takes too long, and you're never going to get it properly. Once you start having an issue with wiring, especially with rust within the wires, you just have to keep going back and back until you find where it's good, and then connect back from there. Because even if you do manage to clean the tip and connect the wires, it's not going to be long until the middle bit just goes. You're going to have the same issue again, and causes all sorts of issues. So I'm not going to stay for too much longer, but I just thought it'd be quite fun to go and see if we reach the old 60k live. So which we did, which is awesome. So yeah, I've seen that on the Severa parked, and the Severa went up in flames. Something to do with a recall they had. Yeah, the recall, but not every car got recalled because not everyone knew about it, or some of them got missed. But it was a bad connection, well, not connection, but bad wiring between the fan and because obviously the fan takes a lot of draw when that spins up, and the wires are really thick. There's a lot of amps going through that, and she goes up on fire. But the problem is when you're driving it, this one that I saw on fire was being driven. Obviously it was stopped, but when you're driving a car, you don't necessarily realize it's on fire, because a fire can start in an engine and the car could still run. It'll only stop when it hits certain wires or something happens where it completely kills the car. But you could have a fire in a car for 2 or 3 minutes, maybe even more, before it actually physically stops. And because you're driving at 50 odd mile an hour, because the road that they were on was 120 kilometers, 70 odd mile an hour road, the wind's blowing through, and it's fanning the fire, making it even worse. You physically can't see flames until you stop. So yeah, fire can be quite bad. You'd be surprised. You might not know your car is on fire. It can be on fire and you don't know, let's put it that way, which is kind of scary. Not a nice place to be if your car's on fire. But, what is... Oh, there's another thing I wanted to show you. So what do we all think of that picture? How someone designed that and didn't think when they were designing it. Hold on a second. You know, and I think that was only within a few years ago, I think. I don't think the building... Oh, it's a Navy building in California. And like I said, 600,000 of landscaping and the rooftop to adjust it. Oh, so hold on. So it wasn't that new. It's 1960 it was built. So I only came across this picture there not that long ago. So it was built in the 60s. So how are they only just talking about it now? I saw someone talk about it. So why are they only talking about it now if it was built in the 60s? Where is that gone that I was looking at? So in California, 1960 era. No, it can't be 1960s, is it? Anyway, it's a Navy building in California. Yeah, quite funny. Quite funny when you think about it. Cuba, how's things? Hey, Leon, I finally made one of your live streams. Congratulations. Thanks a lot. Was it developed by you? Funny. Yeah, you have to wonder, you know, when people are spending, not that building cost millions, but there is buildings around the world. There's two buildings that a guy designed. I can't think of the guy's name. He built one in London and one in Las Vegas that is literally burning people. It's a big concave building. There's all glass on it. And in certain times, it's directing all of the sun's rays onto specific parts. And when people are walking past, they're actually getting burnt. And these are modern buildings. The one in London is a modern building. Yeah, it was only built, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, whenever it was. So with all the technology and all the stuff we have, these things are still getting designed. And this building is millions, or is it billions? It was, you know, hundreds of millions, if not billions. Like, you have to wonder when you've got that sort of budget, how these mistakes can happen. And also, I remember the telescope, why have I forgot his name? The Hubble telescope, right? When they originally sent that up, there was a huge design flaw with the mirror. Well, actually, technically, people said it was a huge design flaw with the mirror, right? But actually, it wasn't. The mirror was perfect. It was ground and shaped absolutely perfect to the tool they had. But someone made this tool and no one checked the dimensions of the tool to use to shape the mirror. And it was the tool that was wrong. So the mirror was shaped to the tool, but someone didn't double check before they went grinding the mirror. Someone didn't say, hold on, let me just check that, make sure it's been put together properly before, you know, we spend months and months and millions upon millions to get this mirror right. They just went ahead. You know, all the detailed plannings of making the Hubble telescope and the stuff that they went into it, like the Hubble telescope, the tracking systems on it is unbelievable. The stuff that it can do. Why is my camera doing that? Tracking off. Stop tracking. Stop automatic tracking, camera. So yeah, it is just, it's mind-blowing. It's something like it can, I can't remember the exact dimensions of it, but it can focus on something that is 1,000,000 times thinner or 1 billion times thinner than the human hair, and it can focus on that like 100 million light years away without moving at all. Like, that's something along them lines. I'm not 100% sure on the exact numbers, but it's something crazy like that. But yet, someone didn't check the tool to as they were grinding it. You know, you just got to think, yeah. Anyway, the video I wanted to show you of, and again, I saw someone talking about this, and I think it's important to say because the video has got quite a lot of views, and I've seen, once I checked into this video, someone repairing a tire, which you think, yeah, repairing a punch on a tire, that's no big deal, which it isn't, but they're repairing the sidewall of the tire, right? Now, again, I know what some of you might be thinking, well, hold on a second, hold on, the, you know, big, huge machinery like farm machinery and not track machinery, obviously there's no tires, but you know, big earth moving machineries, they repair the sidewalls of the tires. Yes, they do, but they are very slow moving vehicles, and them tires are tens of thousands if not hundreds of thousands of pounds to buy, so you can understand why they would do that. But this guy was repairing, and I've seen a lot of people do it, the sidewall of a car tire. I've even seen a guy do it with a motorbike tire, which to me is just crazy. That's it, the architect, yeah, right, yeah, that's the guy. Never heard of it until you mentioned it. Nicknamed the Death Ray, yeah, there's 2 buildings. He designed, now get this, this is another crazy thing. He designed 2 buildings. So you would have thought he would have learned from his first mistake. Hold on, people are getting burnt. There's one in Las Vegas and there's one in London. And I think the Las Vegas one was built first, and then the one in London was built after. And you would have thought he would have think, oh shit, you know, people are getting burned. It was called the Death Ray. Hold on, I'm gonna go and design another multi-billion-pound building and do the same fucking thing again. Like, how stupid do you have to be? Like, you do it once, you should learn from your mistakes. Fucking idiot. And yet that guy, multi-millionaire, and he's fucking useless. But anyway, it's just annoying because these people get paid an absolute fucking fortune, and they're just, yeah, it annoys me. Just like what else? The and it allows you to keep up burning cars. And yeah, there's a guy with a Jag. He had a Jag in London, and his Jag got burnt, like melted parts of the interior because of the building. The car was just parked in the wrong place. He parked it, came back a few hours later or whenever it was, and his car was all burnt inside, set on fire because of the building. Yeah, just crazy, absolutely crazy. But when I seen the guy building the, and not building, but the you know, the money that he's on, is crazy. And to make these mistakes, and we're not talking like little mistakes here. We're talking millions and billions of pounds mistakes. So it's not as if you've just, you know, maybe scratched someone's car, or you've damaged one of the wheels on a test drive, and you know it's a few £100 and you repair it for the guy. We're talking millions here, and yet he was still then allowed to go off and design another building. No one said, oh, we're not using him. Archimedes tried to design a Death Ray, you know, and he drew up one. Then they'd never known if he actually made it, but Archimedes was the first guy to come up with a Death Ray design anyway. But yeah, just unbelievable. They don't deserve the money they've got. People, yeah, improve something, but instead destroy things. Exactly. Congratulations on this 60k subscription. Hope you get 100k to get your play button. Thanks a lot, mate. Thanks a lot. The Grand Building in Birmingham is the same. It basically is one giant mirror. Exactly. You know, it's just how they get away with it. And do you know what I found the other day? I heard the other day, a friend of mine was looking for a job. Now, this pissed me off, right? As most of you know on here, if you're a mechanic, you're constantly learning, right? Mechanics, as regards the trades, we're at the bottom of the trade. No one should become a mechanic. Mechanic is one of the worst jobs you'll ever do. And I'll tell you why. Because we get treated like shit. No one gives a fuck. They think you're just a grease monkey. They don't realise the money you need for tools, the investment, and you're constantly learning. Where you get a doctor, and a doctor's way up here is on 100 million times more money, and they say, well, the doctor's always learning, he's always going on courses, you know, he's saving people's lives. Well, a mechanic is saving people's lives, because if you can't get to the hospital in an ambulance, in a helicopter, in your own car, without mechanics, you wouldn't be going to the hospital, you'd be dying. So the mechanic is vital for you to get you to the hospital first. Then a doctor can take over. And I'm not dishing doctors, I'll be dishing someone else now in a second, but it's not doctors that I'm dishing, but I'm just saying a doctor's well respected because they're a doctor. Where if it wasn't for the mechanic, you wouldn't be getting to the hospital. If it wasn't for the mechanic, the machines in the hospital won't be running, the generators won't be running, the air conditioning, nothing would work on the planet if it wasn't for mechanics. It's a fact. So there was a place hiring quite close to me, and they were looking for a salesman, they were looking for a storeman, and they were looking for a mechanic. And this guy that I knew, I think he was going for the mechanic job or the storeman job, right? So, and he was just telling me, he says, yeah, so they're looking for these three people. And he started telling me the price, right? This is in Ireland. This is before tax. So you don't come home with this. You have to pay tax on this money. But anyway, so the mechanic, and they wanted a fully qualified mechanic with his own tools, right? And that mechanic was on, or would get 35,000 euros a year. And to give you an idea of what that is in other money, so I'll just do it here. So where's my converter? Just to give you a rough idea. Exchange rates obviously always kind of differ, but the euros, 35,000. So that's $39,900, right? That's 30,000 sterling. It's 2.9 million Russian rubies, or whatever the Russian car. I don't know why I've got Russian on here. Anyway, so it's 30,000 sterling, 35,000 euros. You could say $28,000, right? That's what the mechanic was getting. Now, in a big garage, so this garage also sells cars, sells brand new cars and second-hand cars. But the hardest job, I don't care what anyone says, the hardest job in that garage, the most physical job, is the mechanic. He's the one every day getting covered in shit, lifting up engines, gearboxes, ripping his hands to shreds, buying new tools because something else comes out. You need to buy new tools. You need to go on courses, update your scan tools, all that shit, right? Which costs fucking thousands. The storeman, right? The storeman, he was getting 40,000 a year. So he sits in a chair in an office, giving out parts to the mechanics and giving out parts to, you know, people that come in, you know, that want to buy, you know, whatever they want to buy for the car. He's on $5,000 more than the mechanic. And his job, I don't care what anyone says, his job is a lot easier than a mechanic's job. And do people agree with me, or do people think a storeman is a harder job than a mechanic? So put that answer down in the comments. So 40,000 euros is 35,000 sterling, and it's $43,000 a year for a storeman, right? So, but it gets worse. Well, I think it gets worse anyway. It's changing for us in the US, especially in diagnostic. Parts are harder to come by. We have to be able to fix old parts. The difference between us and doctors can make a mistake just to get a pill. Exactly. The doctors just say, oh, you've got a headache, or here's a pill. And you come back a week, oh, it didn't work. Here's another pill. You know, and they get paid a fortune. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not dishing a doctor, because I know a doctor has to work hard, and, you know, it costs them a fortune to go through college and all that, but it costs a mechanic just as much. As a mechanic, I have more money spent in my place than what a GP's office. When I go into a GP's office, I have more money in tools than what he does in a GP's office. That's just a fact. Anyway, so this is worse in my opinion, right? So the salesman, now get this, the salesman, right? The job of the salesman, parts meaning ECU modules. Gotta go now. Looking forward to the next live. See you later, mate. Thanks a lot. So the next was the salesman. The salesman's salary starts, get this, starts at 70,000 euros plus a free car. So that is 61,000 sterling, and that is $76,000, right? Plus a free car, which is worth another maybe 10 grand on top of that, you know, because no fuel, no tax, no insurance, all that is paid. And depending on your car, depending on everything, you know, that's definitely worth another 10 grand a year, maybe even more. Plus, he gets bonuses. So he can earn over 100,000 euros a year, which is 88,000 sterling and $108,000. Now, I know, I'm not stupid. I know a salesman brings in more money than a mechanic. I'm not disputing that. When a salesman sells a car, especially a second-hand car that he's traded in, he could earn anywhere, you know, well, thousands on each transaction, where a mechanic would, it would take longer for a mechanic to earn that money. So I realize that they can, that, you know, you can give a salesman more money because they make more money. I realize that, but I'm just talking about how hard the job is. A salesman sits in his office with his suit, drinking cups of coffee all day. He hasn't got a hard job. He hasn't got a hard job. It's not physically hard. He's not getting his hands destroyed. He's not going out in the cold. He's not, you know, he's not getting his hands trapped. He's not getting covered in oil and grease and fuel, and he doesn't have to constantly buy tools. He doesn't have to constantly go in for training, because, and I know this for a fact, I've been in loads of garages, and salesmen don't know all the latest stuff on the cars. They just don't know it. I was only in a garage, a main dealer, the other day. Well, the other day, a few months ago, and it was spitting, right? So I come in my short sleeves, right? And it was spitting outside. And I was walking back out because I just collected some parts. And there was a salesman there, right? It was a guy. And next to him was another salesman or saleswoman, whatever you, I don't know what the political correct term is now, salesperson. Anyway, so there's a man and woman there. And the guy says to the woman, and it was just spitting outside. That's all it was. It wasn't raining. And he was in his suit with his hair gelled and all that. And he turned around to her and he says, "Have you got a brolly?" And she looked at him as if to say, "Are you actually for..." And this is the woman looking at him saying, "Are you actually for real? Like, seriously." He just wanted to get to his car. Literally a 6-second walk. Literally 3-second run. And I walked past him and I said, "You fucking pussy." Like, she started laughing because it was just ridiculous. Like, you could just... typical salesman. And yet that guy was on, you know, well, I don't, depending on his bonuses and stuff, but up to over 100 grand a year, where a mechanic is on 30 odd grand a year. It's just unfair. It is truly, truly, truly unfair. I've made this comment before. If it wasn't for mechanics, the world would stop. And what I mean by that is, Someone now, either watching this live stream or watching it afterwards, honestly, prove me wrong with what I'm about to say. Prove me wrong. If it wasn't for mechanics, we would have nothing. And it's the only job in the world that we can't live without. So get this, and let me finish before you make a comment. Where in your country, whatever country you are in, let's imagine there was no planes, there was no vehicles, there was no nothing, right? So there was no automobiles at all, okay? You had to walk everywhere, or horse and cart, whatever it was, right? You could get, from your own country, you can get doctors, because most countries are going to have enough people in to train to be a doctor, right? And every country is going to have enough people in to, you know, build houses. They're going to have enough people in to work in the shops. They're going to have enough people in to do the farming. You'll find all the trades in every country. If we couldn't physically travel between countries, you would find enough people in that country to do all the jobs. But it's only because of mechanics that we can travel to other countries in the world, and we can bring other food in from other countries that doesn't grow in your country. You know, like, I don't know, bananas, for example, they only grow in certain places, right? Because of the weather. And there is certain food and certain things that only grows in certain countries because of the climate. And it's a mechanic that allows that food, or that whatever that is, to get from one country to another, and to get from one town to another, never mind countries. So if it wasn't for mechanics, nothing. You wouldn't be able to go anywhere. You'd be stuck in your little town or village for the rest of your life, unless you're a really good walker. It's true. And I've never heard anyone actually say that. But prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that what I've just said is completely wrong. You need mechanics. And we are classed as like the worst trade. You know, a joiner that comes into your house, he can have a car, and he can have 2 or 3 grand's worth of tools, and that's it. He needs a drill, he needs a saw, he needs a tape measure, he needs a pencil, right? Hardly anything to hang doors in your house. Doesn't really need a lot. And that drill will last him basically for a long, long time. A new type of wood comes out. He doesn't need to upgrade his drill or go down and get it, you know, bloody get it updated every year, because a drill's a drill. A drill bit's a drill bit. It's still going to go through. Where a mechanic will need a new tool or a new set of sockets, or because a new thing comes out in a car. So he needs to get it. It's really annoying. And yet we get treated like fucking pieces of shit. A psychiatrist nurse and my friend asked me why I don't become a mechanic, because I tinker with cars. They don't have a being a mechanic is hard work, and some clients always suspend you're screwing them with money. Yeah, exactly. When you don't, and that's another thing. That's what they do. But when they don't have a car, people take a car for granted. They just hop in the car and it starts. When they don't have that car for a couple of days, they realize how important that car is. Like I said, forget about doctors. If you can't get to the hospital in an ambulance or a helicopter or whatever the case may be, unless you drop right outside a hospital, you are fucked. If you're an hour away from a hospital in a car, half an hour away in a hospital in a car, but there's no such thing as cars or combustion engines, you're fucked. No matter what it is, you are fucked, because you're going to have to get someone to carry you there. And if it's a half an hour journey in a car, it's 10 hours walking. So you're dead before you get there. So it's then mechanics that save more lives in the world than anybody, but people will never, you know, it's just true. And I know once people are going to say, well, hold on, if it wasn't for the doctors, you wouldn't save your life. Yeah, granted, if it wasn't for the doctors and the surgeons and the medical advances we have, people would be dying. But if you can't get to the place to get that, you would be dead. So, you know, mechanic, most important job in the world, and yet it's one of the lowest paid jobs in the world. It's a fucking joke. It's an absolute joke. Anyway, rant over. I was going to do a separate video on that because I just think it's so true. It is so true. One of the most important jobs in the world, and without them, you wouldn't be able to get anything. You know, your fancy cars, electronics wouldn't be able to be made because you wouldn't be able to fly them from one place to another. Your favorite foods you wouldn't be able to get, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? There's just, yeah, unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Anyway, I'm gonna go, but it'd be interesting. Just before I go, it'd be interesting to see, do people agree with me, or do you think I'm just talking out my arse? So I'll give it a couple more minutes now, just for the chat to come through, and then I'm gonna go. Because I truly do think it's true, and I don't think anyone can have a proper argument of how. I don't see how anyone could prove me wrong in that sense. I'm not saying that all the other jobs aren't important, because of course they are. You know, doctors, builders, you know, everybody, every job is important to keep a country and the world going. I'm not saying they're not important, but what I'm saying is, if it wasn't for the mechanic, we would be absolutely fucked. The world would come to a stop. You wouldn't be able to do anything. You wouldn't be able to go anywhere. You wouldn't be able to do anything. It's just true. It's 100% true. And I know the people that are going to disagree in the comments aren't mechanics. But look, people can disagree. It's fine. I don't mind people disagreeing, but don't just disagree. Tell me why I'm wrong. Don't just say you're wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. So tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. I wonder how many jobs will be replaced by AI in the near future. Well, I mean, I suppose when you go far enough into the future, basically everything. What jobs can honestly, once you get that far technically advanced, what jobs can a human do? You know, I know it's a Disney film, but this is true. Look at WALL-E. When they're up in the mothership, and they're all on big chairs. They haven't even got off the chairs. They can't even walk anymore because they rely on technology so much. Technology's doing everything. It will come to a point where you are just sat on one of them big, huge, floaty chairs, and you can just press a button and you get everything to you. Because let's be honest, and I'll be honest now, if that was an option now, fuck me, give me a chair, I'm there. I'm there. I'm totally fucking there. Give it to me. I'll press the button all day long. Yeah, burger. Yeah, drink. Yeah, this. I'm fucking loving it. So, but what I'm saying is, I don't think there's any job that AI couldn't do in the future. I just don't think. I think that there's nothing they can't do. Great to see you. I do agree somewhat, lol. More than not true. What don't you agree with then, Cuba? Skills are in general and dying and essential. Yeah, it is true. But what don't you agree with what I said? Because I'm not saying that other jobs aren't important. Every job is important, even down to this, what you would class as, like the bloody job that you would think is nothing. Do you know? Every job is important. Everyone that does their job is important for that country, for that town, for that city to keep running. But what I'm trying to get across is, if it wasn't for mechanics, you would be you'd essentially be stuck where you are born. You wouldn't be going far afield because you'd only have well, you see, you wouldn't even have, well, you'd have horses, but you wouldn't have horses and carriages because you need the mechanic to keep up the carriage. Do you know what I mean? You would need a mechanic to fix it when it goes wrong. So you'd have a horse, but a horse can only go so far every day. You're not going to be able to put, lots of stuff on a horse, and like a horse can only do so much. per day. So I think it's what it's like is it 60, 70 odd miles a day or something, or 100 miles a day or something the horse can go, something like that. It's maybe 50 miles. You know, they have to have a rest. They can only go so far. And could you imagine if you were like dying and someone strapped you onto the back of the horse and you had to go to a hospital that's 3 hours away on horseback? Could you imagine the how uncomfortable that would be? Okay, so you do have a point. Without us, the world would stop. It essentially would. I mean, as regards, you could still live. You could, you would still, yeah. Look, you'd still be able to live. You'd still have everything. It's not, but you wouldn't be able to travel far. You wouldn't be going. You wouldn't be going on holiday. 1,000 miles away, because by the time you get there on horseback, you'd have to come back because you'd take you too long to get there. You wouldn't be going far afield. Sorry, internet is dodgy at the minute. Yeah, that's what I mean. I truly don't think you would be going. You'd be stuck. You would certainly be stuck to your to your village or town. But Wally, I can see the future being like that. Because let's face it, humans in general are lazy. We just are. We're a lazy species. If we could get away with not working, you would. Like, everyone would. Do you know what I mean? The only reason we work is to get money to basically live. And there's not too many people really. And I mean, what I mean really is there's not too many people that can honestly say they really, really enjoy their jobs. Because in any job there's always, oh god, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. There's always times where you don't enjoy it, but you have to do it for your family. But Wally, for example, they just sat on them chairs all day and they would barely talk to each other. Now, again, I know that's a kid's film, but I'm telling you, that could easily happen. That could easily happen. Let's face it, right? If it was a world we were living in, and be honest with yourself now, if it was a world you was living in where you was in that chair and you could get anything with a touch of a button, anything, and you didn't have to pay for it, everything was free, food was free, everything was free, and you just pressed that button to get food, to get whatever you wanted, how many people are going to say, actually, no, I'm going to go to work? I'm not saying there won't be some, but I guarantee you 99% of the population of the world would do it. And I'd be the first one sitting on the fucking seat. I tell you now. I'd be the first one. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going because I just wanted to celebrate the 60k. I appreciate all my subscribers, all the comments, everything, good, bad, or indifferent. I really, really do appreciate it. And I thank you, everyone, for coming on and listening to me rant about pure shit, basically. But we are going to be changing it up. Like I said, another camera is coming very soon, and I'm going to be starting my other channel quite soon, the electronic side of the channel, and I'm going to be doing my reaction channel. So there's going to be a lot more live streams coming up. There's going to be more live streams for the Patreons and for the channel members. They're going to do kind of my own, just bits for them as well. So look, as always, everyone, have a great night, day, evening, morning, wherever you happen to be watching this, and I hope you have a great tomorrow / morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. But yeah, we'll chat to you later. Get your hands dirty, people. Sorted.